Our story today begins in the hushed heart of a medieval monastery, where the only sounds are the whispers of the wind outside ancient stone walls and the soft scratch of a quill on vellum. Here, in the quiet glow of the scriptorium, we meet Brother Thomas, a humble scribe. Moonlight, or perhaps the gentle flicker of a single tall candle, casts long dancing shadows across the wooden tables and shelves laden with heavy tomes. Before him lies a large sheet of vellum calfskin, meticulously prepared, stretched, and smoothed until it's as fine and supple as silk. It's waiting to be adorned, to be brought to life. He holds a slender quill, its tip freshly cut, poised above the page. You might even hear the distant hoot of an owl or the gentle rustle of leaves just outside the high-arched windows. Imagine the tiny, shimmering particles catching the faint light, and the soft, mossy green, derived from copper filings or malachite, mixed until it gleams. Each color has its own unique texture, its own silent story of origin, a color so rich it feels like bottled starlight. He mixes it with a binder, perhaps egg white or gum arabic, until it becomes a smooth, flowing paint. There was no rush, only the commitment to perfection. Knowing that this sacred task contributed to the preservation of knowledge and beauty for generations to come, this slow, deliberate pace is something we can all learn from, especially when we seek to quiet our minds. With each stroke, a vine unfurls, a flower blooms, a fantastical beast begins to take shape in the margins of the page. The repeated dipping of the quill, the careful application of paint, the slow, steady progression of his work. It's all very calming. His eyelids might feel a little heavier, his thoughts a little softer. The faint, sweet smell of the beeswax candle, the subtle aroma of the parchment, and perhaps a hint of the fresh, clean air wafting in from outside. These are the scents of peaceful industry, of quiet creation. Sometimes it's a grinning dragon with scales of gold, sometimes a serene angel with wings of azure, or a playful rabbit peeking from behind a leafy scroll. The details are so tiny, so exquisite, they almost feel like secrets whispered onto the page. Imagine this room with me now. The air is still and cool, carrying the faint earthy scent of old parchment and beeswax. Brother Thomas sits hunched over his work, his breath light and even, his concentration absolute. His task tonight, as it is most nights, is to illuminate a sacred text. He dips his quill into the dark, rich ink, made from oak galls and iron salts, a formula perfected over centuries. The pen glides across the vellum, a whisper-soft sound. It's forming elegant Latin letters, each one a testament to patience and precision. Scritch, 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 a soothing, repetitive sound that accompanies the stillness of the room. This isn't just writing. It's an art, a devotion. Brother Thomas doesn't just use any colors. He grinds them himself from precious materials. He has small, carved wooden bowls filled with powdered wonders. He's not merely copying words, but creating beauty, adding rant, color, and intricate designs to the margins, making each page a treasure. Let's watch him for a moment. See how his hand moves with such steady grace? But it's the colors, the vibrant pigments, that truly capture his heart and imagination. There's the deep, celestial blue of lapis lazuli, imported from distant lands, crushed patiently by hand until it yields its magnificent, almost glowing hue. Then there's the fiery red, perhaps from vermilion, a mineral he carefully grinds, its intensity almost pulsing. He applies these colors with tiny, delicate brushes made from fine animal hairs, perhaps squirrel or sable. As he works, the rhythmic nature of his task begins to work its magic on him, just as it can work its magic on you now. The medieval monastic life was one of routine, of quiet devotion, and for scribes, it was a life of meticulous, detailed work, often performed in near silence. Now, imagine the scent that gently fills the scriptorium. Brother Thomas leans back for a moment, stretching his shoulders, his eyes momentarily closing. He often finds that the very illustrations he's been working on throughout the day or night start to weave themselves into the fabric of his slumber. It's as if the stories he's helped to preserve and the beauty he's helped to create become the landscape of his mind's adventures. Maybe they unfurl their vast painted wings and take him on a silent flight over rolling medieval hills. It's a kind he only sees from his high monastery window. The wind would be soft on his face, the stars like scattered diamonds above. Perhaps tonight in his dreams, the dragons he painted earlier come alive, their scales shimmering, not with menace, but with a friendly curiosity. Perhaps the angels he so carefully rendered will appear, their faces serene, their voices like a chorus of soft chimes, guiding him through sun-dappled cloisters. A single illuminated manuscript could take months, even years, to complete. They might become pathways in his dreams, endless loops of beauty that lead him deeper and deeper into relaxation. Following these patterns with your mind's eye can be incredibly soothing.
Out!
Just tracing them round and round, letting your thoughts unwind. Each initial letter, each decorative border, each miniature scene was a labor of love and immense skill. For Brother Thomas, his dreams are a continuation of his daytime devotion, a beautiful unfolding of the art he pours his heart into. It was not uncommon for scribes to spend their entire lives dedicated to this quiet, profound work. The distant mines where the lapis lazuli was found, glistening veins of blue in the earth, or the fields where woad grew, yielding its deep indigo dye. The natural world, the source of so much of his craft, comes alive in his sleep. He is traveling through landscapes made of gilded letters and sapphire skies, guided by friendly griffins and wise angels, all born from the pages of his own creation. You are safe, you are warm, and nothing is required of you but to simply be, to simply rest. There's no rush, no urgency, just a slow, peaceful unfolding. It spreads through you, from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Your thoughts to become light and airy, like wisps of smoke disappearing into the vast, calm night. And as they did, their inner worlds often became as rich and detailed as the pages they created. Imagine the generations of scribes who held similar quills, sharing this silent, sacred task across centuries, each piece a unique skin, prepared with such care. Before it became a page, it was part of a living creature. The vibrant colors he works with all day are now the very fabric of his dreamscape. He might be floating on a sea of lapis lazuli, or walking through a forest where the leaves are emerald and ruby, and that connection to the natural world is still there, a subtle, grounding presence. So, the time for deep, restorative sleep was particularly cherished. His gentle, rhythmic breathing becomes your own. The soft, ambient sounds of the scriptorium fade into the background, leaving only quiet. All the day's concerns are outside these ancient walls, far away. There is only rest and calm, and the quiet unfolding of your own dreams. Just allow yourself to sink further into the wonderful comfort of your bed. This quiet, unbroken rest was essential for their minds and spirits. Perhaps a very faint breeze stirs nearby, just enough to carry a whisper of peace to your ears. The meticulous care involved in every step of the illuminating process is a testament to the value placed on these texts. Each page was a masterpiece, not just of writing, but of art, designed to inspire awe and devotion. You don't need to force any images, just let them float softly into your mind. The scent of parchment and beeswax becomes a gentle lullaby. Let it wrap around you like a soft, heavy blanket. You can let go completely, knowing that all is well. The faint, dancing shadows on the wall become a comforting presence into a deep, peaceful, and utterly refreshing sleep. Perhaps you see the shimmering blue, or the warm gold, or the deep, earthy greens. Their wings, painted with that precious lapis lazuli, would gently beat, stirring a calming breeze. The monastery is settling down for the night, wrapped in its ancient, peaceful rhythm. All the busy sounds of the day have long since faded. Think of the patience it took to create these works of art, rows upon rows of beautiful, leather-bound tomes, each one a window into another time, another story. The scent of old paper and leather would be comforting, familiar, a sound that resonates deep and low, then slowly fades, leaving only silence in its wake. Night. The fantastical beasts he draws, those half-lion, half-eagle griffins, or the serene unicorns, might step right off the parchment and wander through moonlit gardens in his mind. Their movements would be slow, almost dreamlike, their footsteps barely disturbing the quiet. Brother Thomas's dreams are not wild or chaotic. They are as orderly and beautiful as his illuminated pages, yet filled with a gentle wonder. He might dream of the ancient libraries filled with these illuminated books. It's not just his own, but those created by countless scribes before him. And the swirling patterns, the Celtic knots, and the delicate floral designs that intertwine around the text. In the medieval mindset, dreams were often seen as messages, sometimes from above, sometimes reflections of the soul's deepest workings. He might even dream of the very origins of his pigments. As you listen, allow your own imagination to gently follow Brother Thomas into his world of illuminated dreams. The soft scratch of the quill, scritch, 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 fades into the quiet of the night. Imagine yourself in that quiet scriptorium now, perhaps curled up in a cozy nook, feeling the cool stone, smelling the gentle scholarly air. The moon outside the window rises higher, casting a softer, wider glow. Perhaps you can hear the soft, distant chiming of a bell, marking the midnight hour. This is the quiet of medieval nights, a time when the world seemed to slow down, when dreams felt closer, and the unseen forces of inspiration moved freely. Brother Thomas is now fully immersed in his dream world, his breathing deep and even. His dreams are a reflection of his gentle soul, his devotion, and the quiet beauty he brings into the world. As you listen to the stillness, and perhaps the faint imagined sounds of the scriptorium, allow your own body to grow heavier. ... Your muscles to soften. ... There's a subtle warmth in the room now, perhaps from the distant hearth in the great hall, or simply the warmth of deep contentment. Feel the peace of this ancient space, this place of quiet dedication. The vellum itself holds so much history. And the quills. Plucked from geese or swans, shaped by hand, they were the very voice of the scribe, a delicate instrument that brought knowledge and stories to life. Think of the small, precious pottery jars holding the inks and paints, each one a little vessel of potential beauty. As Brother Thomas breathes in and out, so calmly and deeply, his dreams become more vivid, yet remain utterly peaceful. The medieval monastic schedule was rigorous, often requiring monks to rise in the very early hours for prayers. Let the image of Brother Thomas, at peace in his illuminated dreams, be a final, soothing vision for you. You are safe, you are comfortable, and you are drifting now, deeper and deeper into your own peaceful slumber. The air around you feels soft, almost like a gentle embrace. There is nothing left to do, nowhere else to be, but right here, right now, completely relaxed. The stories on Brother Thomas's pages are now becoming parts of your own quiet dream. And so, with the soft echo of a quill on vellum and the gentle glow of illuminated dreams, you can drift off now. All right, let's settle back in, letting that gentle feeling of calm spread even deeper through your body. ... Just allow your breathing to be soft and even, a quiet tide ebbing and flowing. Imagine the long, silent hours they spent, the flickering lamplight on their faces, the patience etched into their every movement. It was a life of profound discipline, a devotion not just to God, but to the preservation of knowledge itself. As Brother Thomas drifts deeper into his illuminated dreams, the very air around him seems to thicken with history, with the echoes of countless other scribes who dedicated their lives to this quiet art. Think of the parchment preparation, a painstaking process. That vibrant red, often vermilion, was derived from a mineral called cinnabar, sometimes imported from faraway mines, or perhaps it was minium, a lead-based pigment, giving a bright, fiery orange red. Imagine the intensity of these natural pigments reflecting the earth's deep hues. Before Brother Thomas could even dip his quill, someone had to take the raw animal skin, clean it meticulously, stretch it tightly on a frame, and scrape it with a curved blade until it was uniformly thin and smooth, each color a small miracle of medieval science. In the soft, quiet mixing of these powders with egg yolk or animal glue, a subtle, swirling motion that transforms dust into liquid beauty. The outlines of clouds might be edged in gold, and the path beneath his feet might glitter with dustings of precious metal. Beyond the gentle scritch of the quill, there might have been the soft turning of a page, the occasional distant cough, or the rustle of a heavy robe as a fellow scribe shifted in his seat. Any stray thoughts simply drift away like motes of dust in a sunbeam, no longer important. Your mind is becoming clear, open, ready for rest. These are the subtle background notes of peace, never jarring, always blending into the overall calm. The world is illuminated, just like his manuscripts. Imagine the soft, clean flame, its gentle warmth. He walks along lines of perfect symmetry, feeling a deep sense of balance and harmony. It doesn't flicker wildly, but holds a steady, quiet light, a beacon in the darkness. They were essential for education, for prayer, and for preserving the wisdom of the past. His dreams are not just about personal beauty. They are about the lasting impact of his work, the light it brings to others, even centuries later. There's no effort needed, no need to hold on to any thoughts. Simply let them float, allowing each one to gently dissolve as a new, soft image emerges. To be a scribe was to be a guardian of this precious heritage. This soft, constant light is like the feeling of peace that surrounds you now. They are not interruptions, but rather a soothing accompaniment to your journey into sleep. You might float over rolling hills dotted with oak trees, watching the tiny gull wasps at their work, a gentle, natural cycle. Your breath is soft, almost imperceptible, a quiet echo of the stillness around you. His sleep is deep, restorative, and filled with beauty, but soft and golden, illuminating hidden pathways and revealing beautiful, forgotten corners of his imagined world, or the glint of gold as it catches an imagined light. The soft scent of old books, of leather and parchment, is now a comforting presence, a lullaby for your senses. The light itself is a comfort, a gentle guide. Allow yourself to be carried softly, effortlessly, into the comforting embrace of sleep. All that remains is this profound sense of peace, this quiet moment of surrender to rest. For a scribe, working by natural light was crucial for the delicate details of illumination. Sometimes a scribe would use a compass and ruler to draw incredibly fine lines and circles, creating geometric patterns that are still astounding in their accuracy today. These underlying structures provided the framework for the free-flowing artistic designs. So much of their work happened during the daytime, but often, especially for intricate pieces, they would continue well into the evening by the soft, steady glow of beeswax candles. He is walking through a forest where the leaves glow with the intense greens of malachite, and the flowers are the impossible blues of crushed lapis. Applied in thin, almost weightless sheets, pressed onto an adhesive surface, it reflects light with an almost ethereal glow. Medieval scribes used gold and silver not just for decoration, but to make the sacred texts truly shine, to make them worthy of their divine message. The act of gilding was incredibly delicate, requiring a steady hand and quiet breath. Lapis lazuli, for instance, came from Afghanistan, traveling thousands of miles across deserts and mountains to reach the quiet scriptorium. This journey imbues the color with a sense of vastness, of distant lands and ancient paths. When Brother Thomas uses that blue, he is connecting to a world far beyond his monastery walls. The air shimmers with these pure, intense hues, a silent symphony of color. Or he might perceive the slow, graceful movements of artisans preparing the vellum, their hands moving with quiet purpose, creating the very foundation for his art. There is a deep underlying rhythm to all creation, and in his dreams he feels perfectly in tune with it. It's floating over sun-baked deserts, watching caravans move slowly like lines of ants, their precious cargo of pigments shimmering in the heat, or soaring over jagged mountains, where hidden caves hold veins of glittering minerals. It's an adventure of the mind, utterly peaceful and without effort. The deep black ink for the text, as we mentioned, often came from oak galls, small round growths on oak trees caused by wasps. These galls were crushed, soaked in water, then mixed with iron sulfate and gum arabic. This concoction produced a rich, permanent black that would last for centuries, resisting the fading touch of time. Imagine the gentle grinding of these natural ingredients, the mixing, the slow transformation of raw earth into flowing script. The faint earthy smell of these inks is part of the scriptorium's unique fragrance, a scent of enduring knowledge. Then it was polished with pumice stone and chalk to create that perfect, absorbent surface for the ink. Every page was a testament to hours of labor, a precious canvas. The slight, almost imperceptible texture of the vellum under the quill. It's a living surface, holding whispers of its past. And the inks themselves were masterpieces of medieval chemistry. As Brother Thomas's dream unfolds, perhaps he sees these processes in a quiet, ethereal way. The colors he uses are not just beautiful, they tell a story of medieval trade and ingenuity. For greens, he might have used malachite, a copper carbonate mineral ground to a fine powder, or even verdigris, created by reacting copper with vinegar, producing a brilliant, almost jewel-like green. In his dream, these colors are not just on the page, they are around him. Think about the sources of these pigments. It wasn't just about finding the material. It was about the arduous journey to acquire them. And in his dream, he might be on that journey, not physically, but in a gentle, drifting way. Jit, the gold leaf he applies so carefully, also plays a role in his dreams. In his dream, the light itself might be golden, shimmering and warm. The scriptorium, while quiet, wasn't entirely silent. Feel that subtle calm now. The air around you is still and gentle. The medieval day was often dictated by the sun's passage and the monastic bells. These beeswax candles were prized. Unlike tallow candles, which could smoke and smell, beeswax burned cleanly and brightly, providing a pure light for their sacred art. In his dreams, Brother Thomas might find himself surrounded by light, not harsh or bright. The precision of medieval illumination is breathtaking. In his dream, these geometric patterns might become pathways, leading him through labyrinths of order and beauty. Medieval manuscripts were not just books. They were objects of immense value, artistic masterpieces, and repositories of knowledge. Brother Thomas feels this profound purpose even in his sleep. Let your own mind now begin to gently wander, just like Brother Thomas's dreams. Perhaps you see the delicate brushstrokes, each one laid down with care. The distant sounds of the night, the gentle rustling of trees, the soft whisper of the wind become part of this peaceful atmosphere. You are drifting now, completely at ease. Your body feels heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into your comfortable resting place. The world outside is fading, its demands and worries gently receding. Brother Thomas continues his dream journey, a silent adventurer in a world woven from ink and pigment, where imagination and devotion intertwine. So too can yours be. Just let go. Let that feeling of calm deepen, spreading gently through your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes.
Ow.
Feel the soft weight of your limbs, sinking just a little further into comfort. Nothing was truly separate. The earth provided the pigments, the animals, the vellum, the plants, the medicines, and dyes. It was a cycle of giving and receiving, and this harmony is what now cradles him in sleep. Your breath is a quiet whisper, a peaceful rhythm. Imagine the soft, almost silent crumbling sound of the bread, patiently correcting an imperfection. This quiet act of refinement speaks of forgiveness and new beginnings, a gentle reassurance for your drifting mind. A majestic lion might simply gaze at him with knowing, kind eyes, its mane shimmering with subtle golden highlights. A flock of doves, their wings softly beating, might fly silently across a moonlit sky, each one a whisper of serenity. Perhaps a plain loaf of bread, some cheese, or a bowl of stew, eaten in silence in the refectory. This simplicity, this lack of excess, fosters a quiet contentment, a feeling of being perfectly provided for. Imagine the comforting scent of simple food, warm and grounding, adding to the gentle atmosphere. Sunlight was eagerly utilized during the day, streaming through the arched windows. At night, the beeswax candle was a small, precious beacon. The care taken to manage and appreciate light speaks of a deep reverence for what it enabled: the reading, the writing, the creating. In your dream now, the light is soft and warm, a comforting glow that banishes any shadows of worry. It was filled with the presence of devotion, the quiet hum of concentration, and the subtle movements of creation. This is the quality of silence that now envelops you, a peaceful, nurturing void in which your mind can truly rest. These symbols are not just images, they're feelings, quiet assurances for your subconscious mind. He is not just drawing a creature. He is the gentle, wise griffin soaring over moonlit fields. Nothing left but the quiet, vast expanse of your own calm mind. He is not just painting a flower. He is the vibrant bloom unfolding in a serene monastic garden. His gentle merging with peace is yours as well. The lapis lazuli blues might glow with a soft, otherworldly luminescence, inviting him to gaze deeper into their peaceful depths. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are a tapestry woven from the very essence of his daily life, a reflection of the deep connection medieval people had to the materials they worked with. Each letter formed, each word transcribed, each line completed was a quiet prayer, a disciplined practice that quieted the mind and focused the spirit. It's an ancient, primal scent, connecting you to generations past, to warmth and shelter. It's a comforting aroma that suggests safety and peace. This meditative quality now infuses your own journey towards sleep. Your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy, ready to gently close, or perhaps they already have. The world outside is receding, becoming a distant whisper, just letting go, one breath at a time, one thought at a time. But its thick stone walls kept out not just the cold, but also the clamor and worries of daily life. The routine of prayer, work, and study created a predictable, comforting rhythm. This sense of security and ordered calm is what now surrounds you. Feel the protective embrace of this ancient, peaceful place. The sun rising and setting, the changing seasons, the church bells marking the hours, these were the dominant measures. There was no hurried expectation, just a steady progression. This unhurried pace is now yours, allowing you to fully surrender to the timelessness of sleep. Animals, plants, even colors, all carried specific meanings. A lion might symbolize courage, a dove peace, a rose love. Brother Thomas, as he drew these symbols, imbued them with his own quiet devotion. Tales of saints performing gentle miracles, or parables of wisdom and kindness. These narratives, delivered in the measured pace of ancient texts, come the silent narratives of his slumber, unfolding slowly and peacefully. There are no sudden surprises, only gradual, calming revelations. A soft pat, a whisper of dust, and the surface was ready. These tiny, meticulous steps, often unseen in the final, magnificent book, are like the small, gentle thoughts that quietly prepare your mind for profound rest. Consider the simple tools of the scribe, beyond the quill and the brushes. There were erasers made of breadcrumbs, gently rubbed to lift away mistakes without damaging the precious vellum. There were also pounce bags, small linen pouches filled with powdered pumice or cuttlebone, used to prepare the vellum even further, making it less greasy and more receptive to ink. In his dream, Brother Thomas might witness these preparations in a dreamlike sequence, seeing the fine dust settling like moonbeams, or feeling the smooth, almost cool texture of the vellum beneath his dream fingers. It's a sensory experience, calming and deeply immersive, without any effort on your part. The medieval worldview itself was profoundly rich with symbolism, and this permeated every aspect of illumination. In his illuminated dream, these symbols might come to life in the most gentle ways. The monastery itself was a haven of quiet contemplation, a refuge from the often turbulent medieval world. Even the food of a medieval monk was simple and wholesome, designed to nourish the body without distracting the spirit. As Brother Thomas continues to dream, perhaps he revisits the stories he has spent countless hours copying. The concept of time in the medieval period was different, less rushed, more attuned to natural rhythms. Think of the preciousness of light in the medieval scriptorium. In his dreams, Brother Thomas might see beams of ethereal light illuminating his creations, making the gold leaf sparkle with a gentle inner radiance. The very act of copying texts was a form of meditation. Imagine the smell of wood smoke from a distant hearth, gently carried on a light breeze through the open window of the scriptorium. The silence of the scriptorium was not an empty silence, but a rich, full silence. As Brother Thomas's dream deepens, he becomes one with the very essence of his art. Your body is growing heavier, softer, sinking deeper into the soft comfort beneath you. You are completely safe. You are completely warm. You're completely at peace. All thoughts are now like clouds, drifting lazily across a vast empty sky until they gently disappear. Let the whispers of the quill, the soft glow of the illuminated dreams, and the ancient peace of the scriptorium guide you now. Drift further and further to a profound restorative sleep. Now, let's allow that profound sense of calm to deepen even further, settling into every part of your being. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath, a soft wave guiding you towards deeper rest. Every item, every tool held a deeper story, a connection to the earth and to skilled hands. He understands, even in sleep, that his art is built upon these fundamental, natural elements. This connection to the tangible, natural world is profoundly soothing. It reminds us of simpler times, of crafts rooted in patience and nature's bounty. Consider the wooden frame he used to stretch the vellum, crafted from timber, harvested from nearby forests, shaped with simple, honest tools. The first layer might be a wash, followed by more opaque details, and finally, delicate highlights. But as a deep, resonant hum, a vibration of peace that settles his soul. Its sound reminds him of order, of the predictable rhythm of monastic life, which brought comfort and security to many in an uncertain age. While he might be the main illuminator, others might have prepared the vellum, ruled the lines for the text, or even done the initial copying of the Latin words. This quiet teamwork, each person contributing their skill in silent harmony, speaks of a supportive, gentle community. These figures were not just illustrations, they were spiritual guides embodying virtues and offering solace. It's the sound of comfort, of being nestled safely within ancient walls, sheltered from the cold night. Every breath takes you a little deeper into this peaceful state. The soft glow of candlelight, the rich, deep colors, the intricate, gentle patterns, they are all here to soothe you, to guide you effortlessly into profound sleep. All the day's tasks are done, all worries gently set aside. Their quiet presence in his dream brings a profound sense of peace and protection. In his dream, he might feel this sense of shared purpose, a soft connection to others, even in his solitude. This steady, comforting rhythm is like your own breath now, a reliable guide to deeper relaxation. Simply be. Be here, in this moment of pure, uninterrupted calm. This layering creates a subtle three-dimensionality, making the illuminated figures almost leap from the page. High, vaulted ceilings, thick stone walls, and small, deeply recessed windows all serve to muffle outside sounds and maintain a cool, consistent temperature. It was a space designed for focus, for quiet contemplation. And the gentle presence of Brother Thomas's dreaming mind carry you now, softly into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Imagine the comforting embrace of these ancient stones, cool and grounding, creating a perfect cocoon for sleep. In his dream, this sense of depth makes his world feel vast and explorable, yet always contained within the gentle bounds of his sleeping mind. The scent of seasoned wood, earthy and grounding, might subtly weave through his slumber, bringing a sense of ancient strength and stability. The gentle murmur of voices in a scriptorium or cloister, reading sacred texts, would have been a constant, soothing backdrop. This soft hum of devotion, this gentle whisper of knowledge, can now become a part of your own peaceful soundscape, helping you drift. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are not just a journey through the monastery, but a subtle exploration of the very materials of the medieval world. In his dream, he might gently trace the grain of such wood, feeling its warmth and solidity. Think of saffron, not just a spice, but also a source of a radiant yellow pigment. Over time, a beautiful green crust would form, which was then scraped off and ground into pigment. It's a curious alchemy, a slow transformation. In his dream, he might observe this process with a quiet wonder, seeing the copper gently transform, hinting at the subtle magic present in the natural world. Imagine the delicate threads, carefully gathered from crocuses, yielding their golden hue, or perhaps weld a plant that produced a brilliant, stable yellow. These were the sun's colors, captured and made permanent. In his dream, Brother Thomas might see sun-drenched fields of these flowering plants, their colors so vivid they almost sing, but quietly, melodically, like a lullaby. The colors he uses, particularly the more unusual ones, hold fascinating stories. And for greens, beyond malachite, there was verdigris, created by suspending copper sheets over vinegar in a sealed pot. These vibrant colors were often applied in layers, building up richness and depth. The monastery bell, which marked the hours of prayer and work, might reappear in his dream, not as a jarring sound. Even the scriptorium's architecture contributed to its peaceful atmosphere. Brother Thomas's work was often part of a larger collaborative effort within the monastery. The medieval practice of reading aloud, even when reading to oneself, meant that the words of a manuscript were often heard as well as seen. As he dreams, Brother Thomas might revisit the faces of the saints he depicted in his work, their serene expressions, their calm eyes, the gentle crackle of a distant fire, perhaps from the monastery's main hearth, might reach him, a subtle sound that speaks of warmth and life, but never disturbs. You are now so wonderfully relaxed, your body soft and yielding, your mind calm and clear. Just imagine yourself surrounded by the quiet beauty of Brother Thomas's illuminated world. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to do. Let the whispers of ancient history, the beauty of medieval art, you are completely safe. You are utterly at peace. Let's sink deeper now, allowing that quiet sense of peace to envelop you completely. Your breathing is soft, unforced, a gentle anchor guiding you further down into relaxation. Every muscle softens, every thought drifts away, as Brother Thomas continues his illuminated dream. The very air around him seems to shimmer with the stories held within the pages he so diligently creates. He's not just a copyist, he's a silent preserver of tales, of knowledge, of prayers. In the medieval world where books were rare and precious, the scribe's role was profound, almost sacred. Each book was a treasure, a beacon of learning and faith in a world that could often be dark and unlettered. Imagine the sheer dedication required. Before the invention of the printing press, every single copy of a book had to be written out by hand. Imagine rows upon rows of heavy tomes, chained to lecterns to protect their immense value. This sense of quiet guardianship, of knowledge carefully protected, is deeply comforting. You are in a place of wisdom and stillness. Familiar sound, not jarring, but a soft reminder of the cyclical nature of time and the promise of another quiet day of work and devotion. In his dream, this sound might be muffled and comforting, a faint echo of the world outside, but never intrusive. You are sinking further and further into your comfortable resting place. Your breath is soft and slow, a steady, calming rhythm. All thoughts are dissolving, becoming lighter and lighter until they simply disappear. Perhaps a tiny painted snail slowly leaves a glittering trail of light across his path, or a cheerful little bird chirps a soft, wordless melody from a branch made of swirling foliage. Often scribes did not sign their work. Their reward was in the act of creation itself, and in the glory it brought to God. This selfless devotion, this quiet contribution to something larger than oneself, is a profound source of peace. In his dream, Brother Thomas feels this vast, interconnected peace, a sense of belonging to a timeless tradition. He might gently touch the worn leather spines, feeling the quiet energy of stories, prayers and histories contained within. Windows were often strategically placed to maximize the light, especially on northern walls to avoid direct, harsh sunlight that could create glare. The quality of this light, diffused and gentle, is now around you, a soft, even illumination that soothes your eyes and your mind. The silence here is profound, broken only by the soft brush of his robe as he moves, or the whisper of unseen breezes. These unexpected, gentle delights are like tiny surprises of peace, making his dream world feel safe and welcoming. A single Bible could take a team of scribes years to complete. The Latin script, so familiar to him, becomes a landscape of flowing curves and elegant angles, utterly peaceful and endlessly fascinating. This incredibly slow, deliberate process instilled a deep respect for the written word, a reverence that we can now quietly absorb. Feel that reverence now, for the quiet labor of hands, for the gentle unfolding of time. In his dream, Brother Thomas might find himself floating through the very words he has copied, seeing them as solid, beautiful constructs. Perhaps forming bridges over shimmering rivers, or steps leading up to serene cloud castles. Consider the minor details that brought these manuscripts to life. Beyond the grand illustrations, there were often small, whimsical figures hidden in the margins. A snail trailing its path, a bird perched on a letter, or even a tiny mischievous monkey. These delightful, often humorous additions were called drolleries or marginalia. They offered a moment of levity and personality amidst the serious texts. In his dream, Brother Thomas might encounter these playful creatures. The medieval monastic libraries where these books were stored were often hushed, cool places filled with the unique aroma of aging parchment, leather bindings, and perhaps a hint of cedar from the shelves. In his dream, Brother Thomas might wander through such a library, not looking for any particular book, but simply enveloped by the presence of so much accumulated wisdom. The natural light in these old scriptoria was crucial for preserving the scribe's eyesight during such detailed work. Even the sound of a distant rooster at the break of dawn, signaling the approach of a new monastic day, would be a gentle. The medieval monastic life encouraged humility and anonymity. Your body is now wonderfully heavy and deeply relaxed. You are completely surrounded by peace. There is nothing to do, nothing to think, only to rest. Let the whispers of the ancient scriptorium, the gentle glow of illuminated dreams, and the profound quiet of a medieval night carry you deeper. Drift ... further and further into a truly peaceful and restorative sleep. You are safe. You are at ease. Allow yourself to sink deeper into this peaceful state. Feel the gentle weight of your body, supported and comfortable. Your breath continues its soft, rhythmic flow, guiding you further into relaxation. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are a serene landscape where every detail, every color, and every line reflects the medieval spirit of artistry and devotion. Every parchment sheet carried a unique history, a subtle ripple or natural mark that became part of the final artwork. Each page carefully stitched together, then enclosed within sturdy wooden boards covered in leather. This internal library held within the mind was another form of illuminated knowledge, always available, always present. In his dream, Brother Thomas's mind might effortlessly recall lines of poetry or scripture. Not as an effort, they often contain small fountains or water features, providing not only water, but also a constant, gentle trickling sound. It allowed for an absorption in the task that is rare in our modern world. They are not characters in a dramatic narrative, but rather gentle presences, soft echoes of the human experience in medieval times, moving with slow, deliberate grace. The change is almost imperceptible, a gradual unfolding of time, undisturbed by hurried clocks. Your breath is soft, almost invisible, a gentle sign of profound rest. All thoughts have dissolved, leaving behind a clear, open space within your mind, ready for the deepest slumber. This slow, natural progression is the very essence of your journey into deep sleep now. Their quiet movements invite your mind to slow down, to find stillness. This profound focus, this mindful presence in his work, now translates into a deeply restful and uninterrupted sleep for Brother Thomas. You, too, can embrace this quiet solitude, letting go of all external distractions, and the profound peace of the medieval night carry you now effortlessly into the deepest, most restorative sleep. You are safe. You're at peace. This soft, continuous murmur of water, a natural white noise, would have been deeply soothing. In his dream, Brother Thomas might wander through such a garden, hearing the endless calming trickle of a fountain, each drop a tiny note in a lullaby of peace. But as a soft, comforting whisper, a familiar tune that lulls him deeper into sleep. These bindings were often decorated with blind tooling, patterns pressed into the leather without color, or even with precious jewels and metalwork for the most sacred texts. The feather, once part of a living bird, transformed into an instrument of profound creation. This transformation from natural element to artistic tool is a subtle magic that pervades Brother Thomas's dreaming world, reminding him of the quiet power of simple things. The soft whisper of a blade on a feather, a delicate sound that speaks of purpose and care. The scent of aged leather, earthy and rich, would permeate the scriptorium, a comforting aroma of completed work and protected knowledge. In his dream, Brother Thomas might see these finished books, standing proudly on their shelves, their quiet presence radiating wisdom and serenity. This connection to nature, to the living world that supplied the very foundation of his craft, runs deep within Brother Thomas's dreams, grounding them in a quiet, organic peace. You might imagine the gentle warmth of the sun on a field where these animals grazed, a simple, wholesome image that brings a sense of calm. It's a world where beauty was found in patience and meaning in meticulous craft. Think of the small imperfections that might have existed in these medieval manuscripts. Slight smudge, a tiny skipped line of gold. These were not flaws, but rather marks of human hands. It's making each book uniquely personal, giving it a gentle, tangible warmth. In his dream, these tiny variations might manifest as subtle glimmers or soft shifts in the dreamscape, reminding him of the gentle, imperfect beauty of all creation. The animal skins that became vellum were not just canvases, but a profound link to the natural world and the cycle of life. Consider the binding of the books once the illumination was complete. The medieval practice of memorization was central to learning. Scribes, even while copying, often committed large passages of text to memory. Even the tools for sharpening quills, small, sharp knives, were handled with precision and care. The monastery gardens, as we briefly touched upon, were not just for herbs. The solitude of the scribe's life was not loneliness, but a chosen quietude, a a space for deep concentration and spiritual reflection. As Brother Thomas continues to dream, the figures he has drawn: a solemn monk, a playful jester, a noble knight might move silently through the landscape of his mind. The gentle shift of the moonbeams across the scriptorium floor as the night progresses would be a slow, quiet dance of light and shadow. Your body is sinking even deeper, heavier, wonderfully still. You are completely surrounded by calm. There's nothing to do, nothing to be, but simply to rest. Let the ancient echoes of the scriptorium, the soft glow of illuminated dreams, sink even deeper now, allowing that comforting stillness to envelop you completely. Feel your body grow heavier, softer, perfectly at ease. It's a world distinct from our own, offering a unique path to inner calm. Think about the sources of knowledge for Brother Thomas and his fellow scribes. While many copied religious texts, monasteries were also vital centers for preserving classical Greek. Many monastic communities cultivated herb gardens and compiled volumes on remedies, often illustrated with precise, delicate drawings of plants. These herbals were vital for treating illness in an age without modern medicine. They would carefully lay out their tools, arrange their parchment, and often begin with a silent prayer for guidance and steady hands. This mindful preparation created a sacred space for their work, a bubble of calm that extended into their very being. This feeling of prepared tranquility now surrounds you, a gentle invitation to let go. The subtle scent of dried herbs, lavender for sleep, mint for clarity, might subtly infuse the air in his dream, a natural aromatherapy that soothes your senses. It encouraged an inward gaze, a listening to the subtle rhythms of life and spirit. This profound, intentional silence is now yours, a vast, open space in which your mind can truly rest, free from any demands. Your breathing is so soft, so shallow, it's almost imperceptible. Your mind is quiet, clear, and open. Blue, from lapis lazuli, often symbolized divinity and heavenly grace, frequently used for the robes of the Virgin Mary. Red, from minium or vermilion, could symbolize passion or sacrifice. And the profound quiet of Brother Thomas's dreaming monastery carry you now, effortlessly, into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Each hue was chosen with deliberate care, adding layers of unspoken emotion to the visual narrative. Roman works, philosophy, medicine, mathematics, which would otherwise have been lost during turbulent times, surround him not as static images, but as a living, gentle presence, guiding him into deeper rest. These were often done with a light, confident hand, an expressive touch of artistic freedom. They are like tiny, graceful dances on the page, inviting the eye to linger, to appreciate the beauty. In his dream, these flourishes might become swirling mists that gently guide him through soft, dreamlike landscapes. There are no harsh sounds, only the softest echoes of his waking world, woven into the fabric of his sleep. These ancient voices, transcribed with painstaking care, whisper through his dreams, a gentle current of timeless wisdom. Your breath continues its gentle, steady rhythm, carrying you further into profound relaxation. He might see the serene faces of Greek philosophers or the calm profiles of Roman emperors, all rendered in the same gentle, flowing lines as his illuminations. These are the quiet guardians of history, comforting presences in his dreamscape. The rustle of tiny leaves, the soft scent of blooming night flowers, all contribute to a feeling of deep, natural peace. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are a tranquil echo of a medieval world that valued slowness, patience, and the artistry of the hand. In his slumber, he might perceive fragments of these ancient texts, not as words to be read, but as ethereal forms, soft currents of understanding flowing through his mind. Consider the medicinal knowledge held within some of these manuscripts. He might dream of wandering through such a detailed garden, the due-kissed leaves glistening under a gentle moonlight. Each plant a miniature work of art, a testament to nature's healing power. Even the way medieval scribes prepared their workspace was a ritual of quiet intention. The concept of monastic silence was not merely an absence of noise, but an active practice of quietude, designed to foster contemplation and connection. In his dream, Brother Thomas might experience this silence as an infinite, peaceful expanse, where thoughts drift and dissipate like mist, leaving behind only clarity and calm. The colors used for painting human figures in medieval manuscripts also carried deep meaning. In his dream, these colors might imbue the very air he breathes with gentle feeling. A soft blue light for serenity. A warm red glow for comfort. Think of the gentle art of flourishing, where the scribe would add decorative swirls and flourishes to initial letters or at the end of paragraphs. Your body is now completely relaxed, sinking down, down, down into perfect comfort. You are completely safe, completely secure, and completely at peace. Let the whispers of ancient wisdom, the gentle glow of illuminated art, drift, further and further into your own peaceful dreams. Allow that profound sense of peacefulness to deepen now, settling into every cell of your body. Feel your muscles completely release, your mind grow still, and your breath become an effortless, gentle whisper, guiding you softly into slumber. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are a tranquil sanctuary, a testament to a time when art and faith were inextricably linked, and beauty was found in every deliberate stroke. Let's consider the precision tools that supported his intricate work. Beyond quills and brushes, he would have used a ruling pen for drawing perfectly straight lines. It's a compass for creating precise circles, and arches essential for constructing the complex. Geometric patterns found in many medieval borders. Imagine the gentle scrape of a compass point on vellum, a quiet, almost musical sound that speaks of perfect order and serene exactness. Monks often slept in a communal dormitory, in individual cells or cubicles, providing a sense of shared, silent presence. There is a sense of shared rest, a collective descent into peace that is deeply reassuring. The sounds would have been minimal soft breathing, the turning of a body on a simple cot, and branches that reach up to a sky filled with golden stars. It's the scent of ancient wisdom, of stories carefully preserved, a calming aroma that tells of time and patience. These were not just words, but teachings designed to guide and soothe the soul. Your breathing is barely perceptible, soft and shallow, a sign of your peaceful descent into sleep. Your mind is vast and clear, free from any worries or thoughts. The shimmering glow of illuminated dreams and the timeless, deep quiet of the medieval night carry you effortlessly into the profound, restorative sleep you deserve. Their gentle messages, absorbed through countless hours of copying, now whisper softly in his dreams, providing a foundation of quiet truth and reassurance. Let this gentle fragrance fill your imagined space, deepening your sense of peace. It's an entrance to a world both familiar and wondrous, all within the safety of his sleeping mind. These oversized letters could transform into fantastical scenes, miniature stories in themselves, bursting with color and life. A P might become a knight battling a dragon, or an S might entwine with blossoming vines. These initial letters were like tiny gateways into the unfolding narrative. This communal quiet, this shared tranquility, can now extend to you. A gentle assurance that you are safe and part of a larger, peaceful pattern. But merely marking time, reminding everyone of the continuous flow of devotion and the steady, unhurried progression of the day. Each chime resonates, then gently fades, leaving only a deepening stillness. In his dream, these precise lines might unfurl into luminous pathways leading through endless, perfectly balanced gardens. Circles might become shimmering portals to other peaceful realms, inviting him to float effortlessly through spaces of pure harmony. It's a world where every angle, every curve, contributes to an overall feeling of profound, quiet balance. The medieval monastic daily routine itself was a finely tuned instrument of peace and contemplation. The day was punctuated by the ringing of bells for prayer services, beginning long before dawn and continuing throughout the day and into the night. This regular, predictable rhythm, spanning centuries, provided a stable framework for life. There was little unexpected, much less to worry about. This deep, ancient rhythm now flows into your own awareness, a calming heartbeat that lulls you. You might imagine these distant, soft bell chimes, not loud or demanding. Even the sleeping arrangements in a medieval monastery were designed for simplicity and quiet. In his dream, Brother Thomas might see his fellow monks. Peaceful in their slumber, their quiet presence adding to the profound calm of the monastic night. The illuminated capitals at the beginning of chapters or paragraphs were often the most elaborate pieces of art on a page, In his dream, Brother Thomas might pass through one of these magnificent initial letters. Perhaps an A formed from a majestic tree with roots that delve into a shimmering underworld. The fragrance of parchment itself is unique, subtle, almost leathery scent, mixed with the faint sweetness of beeswax and the earthy notes of iron gall ink. Think of the gentle wisdom imbued in the texts Brother Thomas copied parables, psalms, and philosophical treatises. Your body is now completely heavy, utterly relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into the most comfortable embrace of your bed. You are completely safe. You are wonderfully at peace. Let the whispers of the scriptorium drift ... further ... and further, beyond all thought, into pure, gentle rest. Let that deep sense of tranquility wash over you, allowing your entire being to relax even more profoundly. Feel yourself sinking effortlessly into the soft embrace of your resting place. Consider the materials for drawing guidelines on the vellum. Before any ink touched the page, scribes would painstakingly rule faint lines, often with a stylus or a lead point, to ensure the text was straight and evenly spaced. These lines were almost invisible in the final work, yet fundamental to its perfection. In his dream, Brother Thomas might perceive these delicate, shimmering lines as threads of pure order weaving through his dreamscape, creating a subtle, comforting structure for his thoughts. Your breath is light, a whisper, guiding you deeper into the quietude of sleep. Books were often read aloud, collectively, for spiritual instruction or moral edification. This slow evaporation, this quiet transformation, is a metaphor for the gentle release of your own waking thoughts as you drift deeper into sleep. Many spent their entire adult lives within the walls of the scriptorium, their world bounded by parchment, ink, and quill. This profound dedication, this singular focus, led to a deep sense of purpose and a profound inner peace. Your breathing is barely a whisper, soft and shallow, a clear sign of your deep descent into slumber. Your mind is completely clear, vast, and utterly still, and the profound, timeless quiet of the medieval night carry you now, effortlessly, into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Beyond all thought, beyond all sensation, into pure, gentle, dreamless rest. Or perhaps into your own beautifully illuminated dreams? This unwavering inner peace is now yours, a quiet, unshakable foundation for your rest. The quiet, individual reading for leisure that we know today was less common. This collective experience of story and knowledge creates a subtle hum of shared humanity, a comforting, unobtrusive background presence in his dreams. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams are a gentle journey into the heart of medieval artistic practice, testament to the quiet revolutions that shaped knowledge and beauty. Some beautiful pigments, like certain greens derived from copper, were known to eat through the vellum over centuries, leaving holes. These were often playful, sometimes stern, warnings against stealing or damaging the precious book. He is part of a silent, enduring legacy, which fills him with a sense of quiet contentment. While humorous to us now, they underscore the immense value placed on these handcrafted volumes in a time before widespread printing. These gentle, protective thoughts now surround you, ensuring the sanctity and safety of your own peaceful sleep. Scribes were aware of this, and often used such colors sparingly or varnished them. This subtle understanding of materials, their strengths and weaknesses, adds another layer to the quiet knowledge within the scriptorium. In his dream, these colors might appear with a soft, ethereal quality, a subtle warning of their delicate nature, but always in a way that is profoundly peaceful, never alarming. This meticulous pre-planning speaks to a medieval mindset that valued precision and foresight. There was no hurried guesswork, only careful, deliberate preparation. This patient, foundational work now extends to you, providing a calm and solid groundwork for your deepest rest. The colors that proved problematic in medieval illumination also tell a fascinating story. Think of the book curses sometimes found at the beginning or end of medieval manuscripts. In his dream, Brother Thomas might encounter these playful curses as friendly. Watchful gargoyles carved into a dreaming archway, their expressions more whimsical than fierce. Guardians of knowledge and peace, ensuring his rest is undisturbed. The very concept of reading for pleasure was different in the Middle Ages. Imagine the subtle scent of parchment as it dried after being inked. a gradual release of its unique aroma into the still air. The scribe's own lives were often marked by a quiet devotion to their craft. In his dreams, Brother Thomas might experience a sense of being utterly connected to generations of scribes before and after him, a timeless chain of quiet dedication. Your body is now wonderfully heavy and profoundly relaxed, sinking effortlessly into the perfect contours of your bed. You are completely safe. You are exquisitely at peace. Let the whispers of ancient craftsmanship, the shimmering light of illuminated dreams, drift ... further. Let's continue to ease you deeper into this tranquil state. Feel the gentle release in your muscles, the lightness in your limbs, and the profound calm settling within your mind. Your breath flows softly, a rhythmic current carrying you further into relaxation. Brother Thomas's illuminated dreams unfold like a precious, slow-motion film, each frame painted with the quiet hues of medieval life. Tonight, his slumber is infused with the subtle dance of light and shadow within the scriptorium, a natural ballet performed by the sun and moon. Perhaps he drifts through halls where moonbeams paint silent pathways on ancient stone floors, or where the soft, warm glow of 1,000 beeswax candles illuminates hidden alcoves filled with slumbering books. These designs often told stories or conveyed deeper spiritual truths, all without a single spoken word. The contemplation of such beauty was a form of silent meditation. They might practice biphasic sleep, sleeping for a few hours, waking for a period of prayer or contemplation, and then returning to sleep. This natural, segmented rest allowed for moments of quiet reflection in the heart of the night. It's an earthy, almost mineral scent that speaks of enduring strength and timelessness. Lapis lazuli, for example. It's not just a color, but was believed by some cultures to hold healing properties and to connect to the divine. Blue flowers across a vase, the pumice stone for smoothing parchment. The small pots for mixing paints each played their part in creating magnificent works of art. There was no grand machinery, only the skill of the hand, further ... and further ... Beyond all thought, beyond all sensation, into pure, gentle, boundless rest. Or perhaps into your own beautifully illuminated dreams, filled with quiet wonder and soft colors, guided by patience and quiet dedication. This simplicity of means, yielding such profound results, is deeply calming, reminding us of the quiet power of focus. Dark canvas, deeply immersed in comfort, sinking further and further into your bed. Your breath is so soft, so gentle, it's almost imperceptible, a quiet hum of deep rest. Your mind is completely clear, vast, and utterly serene, like a still, moonlit lake. Their glow illuminating passages of ancient wisdom, you are exquisitely at peace, each one a testament to the quiet power of beauty and belief. The very act of applying it might have been seen as infusing the text with spiritual power. This subtle, inherent magic of the materials themselves adds a layer of quiet wonder to Brother Thomas's dreams. In his dream, Brother Thomas might feel the cool mist on his skin, or breathe in this refreshing, clean scent, cleansing his mind of any remaining worries. In his dream, Brother Thomas might experience these gentle awakenings as soft, lucid moments of peace, before effortlessly drifting back into deeper slumber. The shimmering glow of illuminated dreams and the profound, timeless quiet of the medieval night carry you now, effortlessly, into the deepest, most restorative sleep. In his dream, Brother Thomas might find himself within these patterns, not as a static observer, but as a fluid part of them, flowing through interlacing vines and geometric wonders. Finding an infinite calm in their endless, harmonious loops, the shadows are never threatening, only comforting, wrapping the world in a soft, dark embrace. Just follow the pattern, let it guide you deeper. It's a gentle transition from deep sleep to the promise of another peaceful day. This gentle shifting, this constant soft transformation of light, helps your own mind to transition effortlessly into the deeper phases of sleep, and mind to find their natural, most restful rhythm. Any gentle stirrings are just part of the journey towards profound peace. During the day, the light would shift, highlighting different textures of the parchment, revealing the faint, almost imperceptible hairs on the vellum surface, or the way the gold leaf catches a specific glint. Perhaps the soft chirping of a few early birds outside the window, or the very distant, almost imperceptible sound of a brother stoking a fire in the communal hearth, sending a faint, comforting warmth through the thick walls. These are the sounds of awakening, but an awakening of quiet purpose, not of urgency. They are sounds that blend seamlessly with the remaining whispers of night, gently ushering in a new, tranquil day. At night, the candle flame, a small, steady beacon, created gentle, moving shadows, elongating forms, and softening edges. In his dream, this play of light and shadow is wonderfully soothing. Consider the quiet sounds of the monastery at dawn, before the main activities begin. Brother Thomas's dreams might softly replay these moments. The first. Tentative chirps of birds becoming a sweet, natural melody. The subtle aroma of wood smoke, earthy and grounding, filling the air around him. The medieval love for intricate patterns and symbolism was not limited to manuscripts. It was woven into tapestries, carved into stone, and painted onto church walls. These patterns are like the gentle breaths you are taking now, in and out, a continuous, harmonious rhythm that is both simple and profound. Even the sleep cycles of medieval monks were often different, adapting to the monastic schedule. This concept can be wonderfully soothing for you now. There is no need to worry about the perfect sleep. Simply allow your body. The scent of damp stone in the cool scriptorium, especially after a rain shower, would have been a fresh, clean aroma, grounding the space in its ancient, natural foundation. Think of the ancient wisdom contained in the pigments themselves. He might dream of the lapis lazuli blooming like silent. The humble tools of the scribe, the simple wooden rulers. Your body is now wonderfully heavy. You are completely safe. Let the whispers of ancient craft drift.